Hey guys, welcome to Creativity Level Zero. I'm Jim,
And I'm Steve.
and thanks for joining us today. We are at a pretty big milestone here. We've hit almost our 60th episode when I've been looking up our episodes here.
Has it been 60 already? Oh my goodness.
We're getting really close. I think we're gonna hit it quite soon, and it's kind of crazy because when we started this, we said one episode a week, and I think we've surpassed our goal to an extent. But we're kind of right on target too.
I was gonna say there were some weeks that we had technical issues or weather prevented us.
Hmm.
But we did do at the beginning, we just recorded like I forget,
10.
like three a week or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a lot
Or-
stocked up.
yeah, we had a lot stocked up, yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And now and
Into
we're
the vault.
that's
I
right.
need to bring that series back. I need to bring that series back.
And we're continuing to grow for our listeners there. I'll be uploading more to YouTube. We got some people watching us on YouTube, which is awesome. You get not only the audio experience, but the beautiful visual experience. You know, 10 out of 10 right here. So how was your week, Steve? How was anything in big happening?
Um, it's wedding season. And
Wait, is this
it,
2020 wedding season or 2021 wedding season?
I think it's 2020 wedding season. It's just, in 2020, no one had a wedding.
Hmm.
Now everyone is deciding to have their wedding. So it's like compacted now.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you got the people who wanted to get married in 2020 and then the people who want to get married in 2021 all sharing the same year. So
Oh,
I feel bad for everyone, but I've been going to like back to back to back weddings over here. So it's been crazy. So yeah, so this upcoming weekend, I'm going to New Hampshire for a wedding. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm the best man for that. I'll let you know what hilarities ensue.
mm-hmm.
Um,
And tell us what
but
New Hampshire is like, because I feel like I feel like that was one of those states that when we read off the state snacks and the state foods, we literally just brushed right over it. So,
I think most people brush over New Hampshire. Sorry for any New Hampshire listeners.
are they
I
New
love that.
Hampshire? What are they
New
called?
Hampshire.
New Hampshireans?
Make them sound like hobbits, like from the Shire. The New Hampshire hobbits.
Yeah, New Hampshireans.
Yeah. I think I went there once. I had done it was like it was a repurposed ski resort that during the summer they just do a bunch of outdoor adventure things like kayaking, and there was a treetop adventures where you're like swinging through the trees and stuff like that. And I'm very proud of myself
Hmm.
for doing that because I'm afraid of heights. I think we talked about that during our phobia episode. And I was shaking, like a leaf on a tree.
Hmm. Oh my God. Why don't you just give up those jokes and fall off?
I'm just gonna take my leave. Um, yeah. So yes, I'm proud of myself. I got through that. My legs were shaking the whole time. But I did it. I did. 9/10 of it.
What do you mean 9/10?
Well, you didn't have to do the last one. It just got progressively more intense.
Yeah.
And I'll say that number 9 scared me enough that I was like, I ain't doing number 10. That's it.
Oh wow.
We are given the option to get off now, and Steve is taking that option. We are leaving.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did one of those treetop adventures also, and I'm also kind of scared of heights, but like if I'm strapped in, I feel safe. But it's kind of weird because on those adventures, you're kind of like linked between people. So you
Right.
you can't really just like get off whenever you want. You got to get off at certain stops.
Well, there
And
was there was the most treacherous obstacle that I had to do. I'm pretty sure they just haven't done maintenance on it because it wasn't like fully properly maintained. But it was these little ropes, and they had these little discs at the bottom, and that's all you had for
Oh, you had to
feet.
stand on those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to stand on those and like try to reach for the next rope with the other
So
thing.
scary.
It's so scary. So a lady just like fell on there. And so when you fall on the Treetop Adventures and like there's no way for her to get back up there, they have to get people like from the ground and like unbuckle her from there and like bring her
Yeah,
down.
that's
So there
right.
was like a huge line of backup.
For
So
a
now
fall.
everybody's watching me shake on that one. And you're kind of
Oh.
rushed, like being rushed to it, you know. So
Well, that's what kept me going is that I saw people who were definitely less athletic than me trying, and I was like, if that person could do this, I know I can physically do it too.
for me, it was more the little kids that were just like just going through, and I was
Oh
just
yeah.
saying, it's not fair. I'm short. I can't reach for any of these things. And then little kids that are smaller than me are going for it. I'm like, what is happening? What are they doing? How are
Yeah,
they
they're good
doing
at
this?
that.
Yeah.
When we did it, we had it is scary, first off, like because you're high up. We had a situation where one guy went, and when he got over to the other side, you pretty much go, for people who haven't done it, you're pretty much on a platform and you go to another platform and there's some sort of like an obstacle to get you there, like a rope or a zip line or whatever. One guy, when he got to the other side, the the training person who was with us was like, "Hey man, next time make sure you use both of your hooky things, your
The
latches."
carabiners.
Yeah, and he's like, "Why?" He's like, "Cause you weren't latched on that one."
Oh my
Because
God.
they tell you when you go to latch one carabiner always and then like use the other one. Like there's a way to do it, right? You
Right.
latch one and then you're connected and you latch the other. Yeah, this guy was only using one.
Oh
So,
no, the one we did, it was really cool. You're just always you never remove your carabiner ever.
oh, that's weird.
It Yeah, it just always somehow connects
That's crazy.
into yeah, they have these like contraptions that you
Oh,
you,
that's
you
why
move
you
your
couldn't just
carabiner
get
through.
that's why it was a big deal to get the woman down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so for us, you're on your own. And so like when you go
Well, I mean,
down,
we're on too, but like there's just always you have to so like the
ah,
training was on like into the ground and they just showed you the different mechanisms to that you need to like maneuver your carabiner around.
okay.
And that was very much what the training was. And then it's just like, and now go.
Okay. And there was no leader, no guy leading you?
No.
Oh, okay. So
We were really on our own. Yeah.
ours was a little different. We had a guy in the front and a guy in the back, and if you got off, you can't come back up. There was no coming because you're not connected to anything. You're just down, and there's no way to get down.
Right.
Um, but yeah, that was an interesting experience, and like yeah, like you said, it is scary, but at the same time, some stuff you just got to do. You can't be scared.
Tell that to everyone who has got phobias. Whatever phobia that like,
Mm-hmm.
keeps you up at night, just do it. Just
Mm-hmm.
forget it and
Nike
do it.
solved it for you.
That's right.
So I'm surprised you didn't mention Father's Day for this weekend. I mean, I
Oh, that's
guess
right.
I guess one
That's
of us is
right.
a true son. The other just willy-nilly
I
doesn't care.
forgot it was Father's
Well,
Day.
of
Oh
course.
man.
Why wouldn't you
It's
remember?
just been a whirlwind of a week, let me tell you.
So
So
so what did you end up doing on Father's Day? Do you guys go to your parents?
yeah, I went to go see my dad on Father's Day. Um, what's it called? Yeah, and we just hung out. We watched the hockey game together.
What
Father
hockey
son
game?
hockey game. The Montreal Canadiens versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Stanley Cup playoff game.
I'm
Yeah.
so out of hockey that not only did I not know Vegas had a team, but if you were to ask me, like, hey, the Stanley Cup's going on, what team do you think's in it? I would never say Vegas, even if I knew Vegas had a team. That doesn't sound like a Stanley Cup
Well, they're in.
team.
I mean, they've been going pretty far, you know, every year since their founding, which I think was only like 3 years ago. Um, but yeah, they even got to the Stanley Cup Finals, but they lost, and on their opening season, like the first time they
Wow.
they like had their team. They went to the Stanley
So
Cup
were they
Finals.
were they like free agents, or were they taking people from other teams who were good too?
Yeah, well, yeah, they were mostly taking free agents, and they were taking, yeah, like any other franchise. They had
Yeah.
money, and they just like bought players. They had a budget, you know. But yeah, and then the newest team that's gonna get added, so that way you're ready,
Hmm.
is the Seattle Krakens.
Seattle, wait, wasn't the Avalanche out there?
That's in Colorado.
Oh, Colorado. Yeah. What other teams
Yeah,
is out there? Isn't there another team up there, West Coast?
I mean, there's lots in California. There's the
But
L.A.
nothing,
King,
yeah, nothing north though, right?
Jose Sharks. No
Yeah, yeah.
North. No.
Okay. Hmm.
There's no Oregon
No,
or
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay.
well, there's I was gonna say Washington Capitals, but I think that's
No,
Washington
that's
D.C.
DC. That's the DC
Yeah,
team. Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. Well, that'll be cool. I mean, I'm glad to see it expanding because I think a while back they were having trouble with strikes and stuff, and like there was a whole issue with the NHL. So
Yeah,
glad it's getting
yeah.
resolved.
No, I think a lot more people are watching it, which is good.
I
Guys watch
love
hockey.
hockey.
It's the best sport to watch. It's the fastest paced one.
Yeah, I don't think either of those things are true, but I do enjoy watching hockey.
What sport is faster paced than hockey?
What sport is faster paced than hockey? Basketball?
Okay, basketball. I don't mind basketball, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but the problem with basketball is I feel like it's a defensive game because you know, you get the ball, you score. You get the ball, you score. You get the ball. Oh, this time I didn't score.
Right, right,
That's
right.
kind of how it works because it's just like there's just too many scores in
Yeah, they do
basketball.
score a lot in basketball.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
do
a.
like hockey.
That's the only reason I don't like basketball is because it ends up like focusing on defense rather than offense, really. Because you're pretty much expected to score when you have the
Yeah, well,
ball.
I think the rules are different. Like I know in basketball the rules are like promoting scoring. You know, if you
Right.
touch the attacking or the offensive guy, it's automatically a foul. So it's like, they're gonna score because you can't defend them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to a hockey game a few years ago for the Flyers out in Philly, which they've been on and off as a team, but uh, it was a blowout game. Like, I don't go to hockey that often, like once a year, and it was a 6-0 game.
Six
And
zero.
yeah, which is a lot for hockey.
Was
Um,
that your team that had
yeah,
6
yeah.
points, or was it
And we
against you? So because I was wondering if it was just going to be a
No, no,
depressing.
it was the
Night.
Flyers that had 6. And then
Okay.
since it's a home stadium, there's a lot of cheering and stuff. And I got like a hot dog and french fries and soda. It was like a good time. Um,
Right.
but one particular time was hilarious where they scored and we all stood up to like cheer, and like high five and everyone's like excited. And that takes like, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds because the sirens are going off, right?
Right.
Literally, and this is no exaggeration. I like to exaggerate, but this is not an exaggeration. They scored when I sat back down. So like the literally the puck dropped and they shot it from the center shot and it went right in. And then
What?
yeah, and then I was like, what's going on? Like, did I miss it? Because like I'm like trying to move my food and like everything.
Are we still doing the same sirens
Yeah,
from
I know.
before?
It was a blowout. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Wow. Do you remember who they were playing against?
No, no, some garbage
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which team?
6-0 is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and also in hockey they rotate a lot of people, so like when you score that many points, you have a lot of people scoring a lot of points. It's not just like the one guy.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, what's fun about hockey is that like, in order to keep it fast paced, and hockey is definitely faster paced than basketball. They have like constant line shifts. So it's just always like running, like full skating back and forth. Like
Hmm.
they're putting in like 100% effort the whole time because they're taking breaks every like
Yeah, I wish they I
minute.
wish I wish they fixed the hockey arena so that way you can't like kind of cheapy play. I feel
What's
like it
cheap?
I feel like it's almost part of the strategy too, cuz it's like the side where the players come on and off can either be like an advantage because you can literally jump off the bench and get the puck past you as you're jumping off the bench. Like
Yeah,
someone from the other side of the rink could be like, "Oh, we're subbing. I'm going to hit it to the open guy cuz he's not in the rink yet. he's going to be open when he skates on, you know?
Yeah, but you gotta make sure that the other player is off before you do that, or else you get a
Yeah.
penalty. Many men on the
Right,
ice.
right, right, right. Yeah. So interesting. Yeah. So Father's Day, I wanted to ask you about Father's Day and Mother's
Oh
Day.
yeah. We went. This was the question. Yeah. So I also helped my dad install home security cameras around the house.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then we ate some baked ziti. He wanted baked ziti for dinner, and yeah, that was Father's Day. Yeah.
Baked ziti's pretty decent. It's really easy to make, actually. I would.
Well, it's just pasta and then put mozzarella and shove it in the oven.
What about the ricotta cheese?
No.
You have
Don't
no
do that.
ricotta cheese in your baked ziti?
No.
Then it's not good baked ziti.
Oh, here we go.
I'm
Here we
dropping
go
I'm
over
dropping
here.
the mic on this one because though my food choices may not be the best, when it comes to Italian pasta,
Authentic baked ziti does not have ricotta in it.
look, if you want to use the word authentic for
Now,
worse,
Jimmy's pseudo-Italian food here. You know, it's always got to have something extra over here.
it's like when you go to Italy and you
I have
get
no qualms with ricotta, but it's not necessary in
it's
baked ziti.
required.
No,
It's
it's not. It really adds nothing except for more cheese.
it's it
You
adds a
don't need
lot.
more cheese. You
So
put already mozzarella and parmesan. You're gonna put ricotta too. That's too much cheese.
but
you're gonna have it's
changes
like macaroni and cheese at
it
that
changes
point.
the texture.
I know, to a grainy texture, which is
No,
not as
the
good.
mozz on top is kind of like the shield. It protects the meal from
No, you got to
all.
put the mozz throughout.
Yeah, you have a little throughout so it's stringy, but like there's not a you don't cheese it up that way. The
Right.
regatta holds it together. It's like the binding element of this dish.
No, it binds just fine without the ricotta.
Look, to our listeners out there, you guys are going to have to tell us which is better. Do you want it with or without ricotta cheese? Or I guess some people would call it ricotta cheese. I mean, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, let us know because that's the only way we can settle these kind of things. We have to go to the fans. We can't. You and me can't. We'll argue in circles.
That's right. That's right. We just have clear differences.
That's right. That's right. So I did want to talk today about something interesting I noticed with the way TV series are going. So we're gonna have a little bit of a TV show, TV series discussion here today.
Okay.
So as you're probably aware, a lot of the big movies have been having spin-offs recently, right? And I think we even talked on the show about Marvel and Disney doing Scarlet Witch was a series, and there was a Captain America series in there, or I guess it wasn't Captain America, it was the Falcon.
Well, I mean, it is Captain America. Yeah.
He's not in it though.
No. But he becomes Captain America in the series.
Well,
That's
way
all.
to just spoiler alert right through that,
It's called Captain America in it.
but Captain America's not in it. Like the main
And the
guy.
whole point. The whole point of that entire series is about Captain America.
And where's Chris Evans? Where's my heartthrob?
They don't need it. They don't need it. You obviously didn't watch the series because the whole series was about how anyone can represent America as
Wow,
Captain
it's so
America.
wholesome.
I know. That's what it
So
is.
I liked Chris Evans in that role. I do think had they recasted that as like a Tom Cruise or whatever, I still would have been fine. I don't think he was the perfect cast. I feel like a lot of people could have fit that, but once they put him in there, that's fine. But anyway, they're having these spin-off shows, right? And
Well, it's hard when he's already the Human Torch, right?
that's what I was saying. Yeah, he's already a superhero.
He's already a superhero. Now he's gonna be two superheroes.
They've been doing that with a lot of characters already.
Yeah, I know. Ryan Reynolds too is a bunch of
Yeah.
superheroes.
So yeah, they're doing the spin-offs, and it got me to think, at what point, first off, this is just a high-level question. Do you think spin-off TV series are going to become more profitable than movies? Straight up
100%.
movies.
100%. I think everyone's going to take note of how Disney's doing it, and Disney's are geniuses for this.
Mm-hmm.
because TV series have always just been, you know, kind of like these.
Low
You were
budget.
either a TV star or a movie star.
Right.
Now they're blurring the lines. And so you're getting like people who like celebrities from the movies showing up in TV, and it's happening more and more and more and more. And so yeah, they're just starting to blur the lines. I feel bad for people who are just trying to be like TV stars because now the movie stars are getting to be in both.
Yeah. That's tough.
That's always also been the issue with voiceovers and stuff like that. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
the like everyone tries to get these movie stars as voiceovers when they don't really like they're not really needed. They're voiceovers. You don't really need a cartoon to be,
Right.
um, I can't for some reason I can't even think of a movie. Ryan Reynolds, I can't
Sure.
say Ryan Reynolds because he has his own type of character, so
But they even had
um,
like Kevin Hart was in the Pets movie. He was the voiceover for the main character in the Pets movie.
yeah,
To your point.
that's that's as a perfect example because they had an all-star cast of
Yeah.
like movie,
Which you didn't
movie
need,
actors.
by the way, to make that
You
movie
couldn't.
good.
Exactly, because they're voiceovers. But um, yeah, so just movie stars are just like kind of blurring the lines. But yeah, I think they hit on a solid recipe right there, which is just make a movie, make tons of money, have it as a setup, and then have a bunch of these like branching things coming off of it with the same movie stars, or even
Where they
just
like
along the
they
same
show
in the
up
same
for like
universe.
yeah, they show up for an episode and then the rest is a new cast. A
Yeah,
cheaper
yeah.
cast.
It's yeah, exactly. I don't know, but all these streaming things, these people like I think this is way the streaming services I think are way more profitable than we give credit to for in terms of TV shows because the the budget on these TV shows has been astronomical these days. Game of
Yes.
Thrones was the one who set the bar, but now Disney is just like, we're gonna raise that bar. We're just gonna show you what TV can do. You know.
So yeah, so the reason I'm asking is because I'm wondering, so here's what I was thinking about with these TV shows. Um, are they going to do what you said, which is like continue making movies and then do spin-offs of the movies that launch TV series, right? Or are they gonna do what Netflix and I guess Disney's gonna start doing, but really a straight to streaming service series that is professionally done. So if you think like Queen's Gambit, Stranger Things, Bridgerton, like these shows that I probably, in all honesty, wouldn't have watched any of them had they not been so successful as their own series on Netflix. And having watched them, like, oh, they're all pretty good. I appreciate them. Like, if there are more seasons, I'll watch more seasons, right? And so it makes me think someone like me who's kind of narrow in what he watches still watched a lot of these shows that I wouldn't normally watch. And that means you're getting viewers you don't normally get. So I'm
hmm
wondering what your thoughts are if they're going to continue that path or are they going to continue the movie spin-off path.
Well, I don't know why they need to be, two separate paths because I think at this point they just, if they followed what the Netflix pattern is, South Park did a funny parody about it. Anybody could just walk up, like call up Netflix and be like, "I have an idea for a show," and like, "Okay, what is it?" It's like, "Oh, it's gonna be like about a boy." Yeah, it's funded. Oh, I didn't even finish telling you the story. Nah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, it's gonna be about a boy who like is struggling. Yeah, funded. No, I still didn't finish telling you the story. Like, they'll fund anything.
There is
They
a
don't
lot of
care.
garbage on Netflix.
Yeah, and it kind of just like teases out itself. People will just watch it and then it'll
It'll come to the
they'll
top
rate
if
it
they
and
watch it.
then yeah,
So it's funny you
they'll
say
they'll
that.
recommend it to friends and so like if other people granted, there's some things that reach the top 10
Do you
that's
remember
garbage
the
and gets
deadly?
recommended by friends and is absolute garbage. And I'm gonna bring it up every time we talk about TV.
Do you remember when Deadly Illusions,
Deadly Illusions, guys, is one of the worst movies
when
I've
it
ever
made it
watched.
to the top, and then I was like, we gotta watch it. I had to watch. It was like top recommended, right? So Netflix kind of got us, and then all of a sudden, 5 days later, gone. It's still on Netflix if you search for it, but it's just gone. Like if you're in the suspense section, not there. Movie section, not there. It's as if they realized something happened here that was bad. Let's just get it out.
Well, yeah, because I think there's just an algorithm for Netflix, which is just if people watch it, it reaches like if there's a lot of watches for something, it's top 10. And so like the premise of the movie sounded really cool, so I think it just caught a lot of people. And then once people watched it, they just didn't recommend it to other people,
But they watched
and
it.
yeah, I mean, they had to watch it, yeah, to not recommend it to other people
Yeah,
because it was
yeah.
garbage. But until that got to that point, it was like, oh, it's a new movie on Netflix. It
Well,
seems
so
kind of
that's
cool.
well,
Everybody's
so that's what
watching
I'm
it.
getting at, right? Is so like Netflix can obviously create a new series, and that's how I saw Bridgerton. Was and Queen's Gambit's another one that's a good example where, like, if you told somebody, hey, you want to watch a documentary on chess, I'd probably say no, and then they're like, wait, it's going to be dramatized, and you're like, definitely not. So that was first page, and the difference was when you moused over it, it was like a full 3 minute trailer, like maybe like a movie trailer where I could learn the whole thing. I was like, wow, there's a lot to this show. The other shows, you mouse over it and it's like 5 seconds of a scene that had nothing to do with the movie or the show. So I feel like
Yeah,
Netflix,
no, no. I mean, Queen's Gambit got me right away. The first day that it came out, I started watching it
what made
because,
you watch it?
well, I like chess,
Wait, so
and
you
so
saw it on the main
I was
page.
like, wow, there is a chess show
There's
on
already, hold on a second.
on
There's
Netflix.
already about 30 chess shows on Netflix. And I've
No,
seen
but I
some
mean
of them
like a
as a kid.
show, like a dramatization, like a show about, it's
There
I'm not gonna say sci-fi, sorry, fiction show about chess,
Yeah, but so
not a
hear
documentary
me
or
out. Hear
anything
me
like
out.
that.
There is a show that I saw like 15 years ago, a movie called Saving Bobby Fischer. And it was
Okay,
it was like a 2 hour, 2.5 hour movie, which was a dramatization of his life. But it was like because he's kind of aloof and everything, they added, they embellished it. All
right.
right. That's on Netflix, but Netflix chose not to promote it. And so if you were a chess person, unless you searched chess, you wouldn't have seen it.
Right.
But Queen's
Well, that's
Gambit,
exactly
they
it. So like, I didn't even know there were chess shows on there. I mean, there's so many other shows that just catch my attention on there. But
well,
then when I saw that like way at the top, and I was like, a chess show.
so we're
This
getting so we're getting to the crux of the question I wanted to get at. So the crux of the question is, a few years down the line, Netflix or Disney Plus, these streaming services, they're going to create new content. I think we could both agree. It's going to keep doing series, right? But the series they put forward ultimately are what gets viewed. They chose to show Queen's Gambit, they funded it, they got put forward, right? Do they have to or even want to pay for all the other garbage that's on their platform? Or do you think they can become self-sustaining with their own series eventually? Like kind of like Disney Plus is doing now, like only Disney stuff. Netflix will eventually become only Netflix stuff
I don't know. Again, I don't know why you would limit
because you
yourself.
have to pay.
Yeah, but they make so much money, they don't care. Like I, if
Hey,
granted,
Waterworld got kicked off Netflix and we cared. We cared,
it
right? We
was
cared.
a great movie. I liked Waterworld. It
We
was
cared.
fun. Yeah.
But that's an example of
So I
one.
think I think Netflix was doing something new recently, which was something that they don't normally would have on Netflix. I think they'll put on for like a month.
Oh,
and
okay.
they've been advertising it where they'll pay the money for the rights to
The
the
show
movie,
for like a month.
and they'll only show it for a month, and then it comes off. Like that's all they're gonna be willing to show. I think that's kind of just like a way to get more people to sign up or people to stay on or something like
Right,
that. You
right,
know,
right. Entice
like
them.
oh, see, we always add new content on
So
and
it's like a
always
right.
remove new content too.
Well, so another interesting caveat is location. So when I was in Spain, one of the Airbnbs I stayed in had Netflix, and I was like, "Oh, let's see what's on here." And it's interesting. It's a very different show selection, not just movies but shows. And they had the one that I remembered clearly was Suits, was a show that like they had in Spain and they didn't have in the States. And I remember it because I watched like 2 episodes or 3 episodes in Spain, and then when I came back to the States, I was like, well, I guess I'm never knowing what happened here. And so I wonder why they do that. Like why by country they have
I feel like
different
it has to
shows.
do with rights of some sort. Like certain countries have, you know, maybe they're able to get rights to certain things in different countries. I don't know. It's not only for the movie industry. It has to do also with like the video game industry. I know Steam has different selections on what's available depending on country.
Oh,
You
really?
know, yeah. Like I'm not too sure what goes behind that, but I assume it has to do with like certain rights. Like, oh, we'll give you the rights to this, but only in these countries. Oh, we'll give you the rights to these, but only in these countries. Um, yeah, and a lot of people use VPN. I might be
Right,
telling people to do bad things, but a lot of people
right.
can use VPN, change their IP address to a different country, and look at what that
What they
country
want to
has.
watch. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think the more interesting question to ask, and from what you're gathering, like from this discussion, is do you even think movies are going to exist?
Well, you answered that. I asked you that.
Did you?
You said you think they will continue to make movies and make spin-offs, and they'll continue to make their own series. You can't have the spin-offs portion without the movies.
No, but I'm wondering like if they're really going to start blurring the lines of movie and TV show to the degree of like, even Game of Thrones is doing it at some point where the episodes were like 2 hours, 3 hours long. That's a movie,
I
you
think it
know?
depends on I think they'll keep doing movies if the content makes sense. So like I'll be honest with you, one of the things I didn't like about Game of Thrones was how slow it was. But if Game of Thrones was a movie, it would have been a much better movie in my opinion than show. Because
A lot of people are going to be upset that you say how slow it was, considering the last season was just rushed like crazy.
I mean, when you have like 7 seasons of just nothing, yeah, you got to cram it into the last season. But I mean, that's an example.
I watch that season. That's probably going to be your favorite season. It's like, yeah, yeah, just
I
like shove
watched
it all
like
in my
I watched
face.
like 2 episodes and I never even finished Game of Thrones because it was I
Wow.
never I'll be honest, I never really liked Game of Thrones. I thought it was subpar for what it was doing. I think it's just mainstream versions of the same type of story that gets told in other movies and other series that just became mainstream. And so
Right.
like people picked up on it and liked it, but that level of character development and backstabbing and intrigue that happens in a lot of other shows and movies. You just, don't generally get the fantasy wrap around it because you don't want to watch fantasy as a normal person.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's one way to make fantasy sexy.
That's right. That's right.
We'll add all this intrigue and murder and sex and stuff.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. So like, but that's my point. It's like I think they'll keep movies if it makes sense for a movie. I do think that when you're talking about the rights, you probably were onto something because if you want to make a show with like a superhero, it makes sense to make a movie of the superhero. I probably wouldn't watch a 8 season show of like one superhero. Like
You've done that.
I haven't yet.
You've watched The Flash like through 8 seasons.
Oh, well, that's because The Flash doesn't have a movie.
That's what I'm saying. You just answered the question. If they
Oh
made
yeah.
instead of a movie, they just
That's
made
right.
a TV series
That's
of that
right.
superhero.
I
You
feel
said
bad
you
for that Flash too, because I liked it in the beginning, and
the Flash, Green Arrow,
they
Supergirl,
just cornied it
know,
up so quick. It
yeah,
was,
wow, it was
the first season it was great to watch, but after that, I can't recommend it past maybe one or two seasons. Yeah. So anyway, the reason I'm asking all this stuff is because what I'm wondering is what does that mean for people like you and me? Right? So like we're going to want to watch shows. Is it going to come full circle now where all of these shows are going to be broken up into their respective platforms, right? You're going to have like Rick and Morty on the Adult Swim, and you're going to have Netflix, and you're going to have Amazon Prime. You're going to have all these shows, and then full circle, you buy the bundle, which has all the shows together, which is literally what like cable was. And now you get a package of everything. Do you think we're going to get there?
I've thought of that before. I was like, I wonder if I could start a streaming service that's just
It's the
like
bundle.
a summary of all the other streaming services. Like you just tell me what show you want to watch, and it'll just be like from that streaming service.
Right, right,
I'll stream it from the stream. You
right,
know,
right. That sounds illegal, but sure.
yeah, yeah, definitely. That's kind of been the thing. I was just like, that sounds like a murky mess of like legal things. I have no idea what's going to be allowed for that. Because I already don't know what Netflix does for rights to begin with, let
Right.
alone then you're trying to get the rights to the rights.
Right. So what I'm asking is, do you think it's going to get to a point where they're going to consolidate and somebody's going to be like, let's sell a bundle? Actually, I take it back. I think they already do. I think Hulu and Disney Plus, aren't they bundled? Hulu and Disney Plus?
Yeah.
I think they're
Well,
bundled.
it depends. Yeah, if you get I forget what it was. A lot of things are like, oh yeah, you can get Disney Plus, you'll get a month of Hulu. Like they'll just work together and be like,
So
oh, you would come to ours, we'll also give you this. So
so I'm wondering if something like, so I got the Roku TV. So all these have the apps on the TV, right? And I'm
mhm.
wondering if like maybe the Roku TV would have a way to be like, look, you could subscribe to all these things under one account and you pay this rate. And then that's that.
I mean, yeah, it does. It does sound like it's gonna be like that. It is funny because Netflix was the one who like broke the wheel and
Right.
just everybody started cutting the cable, and
Right.
so that's why everybody and their mother is making a streaming service now. There's now Paramount Plus.
Oh,
There's
isn't it
Discovery.
Paramount? Yeah, that's the new one.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, Paramount
So
Plus. Yeah, there's Disney Plus. There's Discovery Plus. There's a lot of pluses. I wonder why they all stick
how
with
much
plus.
does it cost if we so how much would it cost if we just got Netflix, Prime, Hulu, and Disney? Those are the big ones, right?
Yeah, it'd probably be like $40,
Well,
right?
yeah, what is Netflix like 15 a month?
Depends on the type of Netflix you want.
Okay, is 15 accurate?
I don't know. I don't pay Netflix.
I also don't pay, so we'll never know. We are leechers. Let's just say
We
15.
can look it up. We can look it
Yeah,
up.
look it
Let's look
up.
it
Go
up.
ahead, look up the prices for me. I'd like to get this accurate here. And what's
Uh,
Prime? 130 a year? Something like that?
Netflix pricing, and then we'll go for Prime pricing, and then we'll go for Hulu pricing. What was the last one? Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus. Yeah,
Disney
give me all the
Plus.
numbers and I'll divide it by 12.
Okay. How much does Netflix cost a month?
Yeah.
Okay, so standard. The heck? Why does it say RS 649? What does that mean?
I don't know. But why don't you just give me like a medium price?
Okay, Netflix monthly is $8.99.
That sounds too cheap. That sounds cheap.
I think that's for like the basic.
What's the next level?
The next one is $8.99 for the basic, $13.99 for
All
standard,
right, let's
17.99.
do let's do that. 14 bucks for Netflix. All right.
Yeah.
What's Prime?
That's $13.
13 bucks a month. All right. And what are the other ones?
Hulu. We're gonna go for no ads.
Sure.
Okay, that's $12 a month.
All right. And then Disney?
Disney Plus. Um, $8 a month.
8. All right, so we're at 47. That's about right. Now,
40, right? Yeah.
don't forget now, we got to buy internet, right? So internet,
Yeah.
let's say runs you $40 a month. So this could be more, could be less. Let's say $40 a month. So you're up to about $90 a month on internet and shows, and cable was $100 a month for internet and TV.
Yeah.
So we are at full circle, I guess, at this point.
100%. Yeah.
Wow. I can't believe it. And you're right, because when Netflix came out, if you cut your cable, you saved half your bill. So you only paid for the internet portion. But then you still paid Netflix. But yeah, now with all these other services you need, that's crazy.
But you see, the trick is, and this is how it doesn't come full circle. Now, if you're a schlub, okay, it's gonna come full circle for you.
Okay.
Okay. But no, you got to make friends, guys. You got to make friends, and you trade. You be like, okay, look, I got a Disney Plus account. I'm looking for an HBO. So,
oh yeah.
you got an HBO account. I'm gonna trade.
Now do
Netflix,
do you remember if it goes by devices you can use?
Yeah, some of them do, some of them don't. But yeah.
Yeah, because I think with Netflix they said something about devices.
Well, there can only be like a certain amount of devices logged in at the same
Oh, at the
time.
same time. Right. I think that was what happened because my parents were asking me about.
If you trade too much, then you're gonna run into an issue where
Right.
like you're not gonna be able to use your own account.
Right. Right.
Because other people are using it.
Yeah, my parents were
Um,
asking me about Netflix, and they said I think they might have said two people on at a time, maybe three. I forget.
mhm.
But I was like, oh no, I have 3 accounts in my house, like the 2 TVs and my laptop. That's already 3.
No, but it has to be at the same time. So it's like
Exactly.
if you're somehow like wanting to watch Netflix on all 3 of your devices and just push like spacebar on all 3 and like run really quick, and then
Right.
so that way you can walk around your house and watch the same TV show.
Wow. Living the life there.
That's right. That's right. But no, like, or else it's just if you're on your couch or something, you can watch it, and then 2 other people can watch it on whatever their device is.
Right.
So
So
yeah,
since
for
we
us, it's only an issue at night, um, because sometimes like I'll want to watch Netflix, my sister want to watch Netflix, my dad will want to watch Netflix, my mom will want to watch Netflix, and then we're stuck.
wait, your mom and your dad watch separate Netflix?
Yeah, they want to watch separate shows.
That's
Yeah.
their fault. That's what that is. They're married. They gotta compromise there for shows. Oh,
My
you.
dad is an interest like he's just a bad TV watcher in general these days. He is so like he's just so overwhelmed with the sheer amount of content that he only watches like 2, 3 episodes of a show and then moves on to the next one. So he's
Oh
like,
wow.
who's okay, and then he'll like move on to the next one. He'll see if it gets his
So
attention.
it's
He's like,
interesting you're saying
that's it.
that because when my family came over, my sister was there too. I pulled up Netflix and I was like, what do you guys want to watch? And they're like, I don't know. And I said, well, why don't I pick something from my list? And I had like 20 something shows on my list. And they were like, what are these? I was like, these are shows that I've scrolled past that I'm like, I would watch this, but just not at the moment. And so you end up building this like queue of just like good stuff. And so
Right.
it's funny because um, when my sister was asking, like, how do you know what to watch? I'm like, when I don't know what to watch, I go to the queue and I just pick something. But if I'm like kind of looking for something, if I know like, oh, I want comedy, like when you were at my house, we watched a romantic comedy, right? We were searching through the romantic comedies. Some of those, if you wanted to watch later, you could have been like, yeah, add it to my list. Maybe later, not today.
Right.
And it's weird because that's how I've kind of changed how I watch shows. And it's gotten to the point now where it's like an on demand way to be like, what's on? Because you're like, let's see what's in the
You're like
queue.
flipping through the channels.
That's right. I'm like, what's in my queue? And some of,
But it's funny because like every time I speak to my dad, I'm like, oh, I've been watching this new show. It's called The Expanse. It's great. By the way, guys, The Expanse is fantastic. Everyone should.
I couldn't get past the first episode. So
Well, you're like my dad because he was like, yeah, I watched an episode of that, and then I just stopped.
If
I was
you
like, how
can
do you stop
if you
that?
can if you can say in all honesty that that first episode was a good episode of a TV show, you'd be lying. That was not a good episode of a TV show. It was a bad
It was
episode.
fine. It was in a bad episode of a TV show.
You had no idea what's going on in the show, and then they
Yeah,
kill the main characters.
no, they don't. They're not the main characters
Well, they're the ones you spend the most time with in the first
in
episode.
the first episode.
There's
Yeah.
only one episode. It's not like we're in season
Well, that's
2
what it's supposed to be. It's going to be like, oh, shoot, what just happened? Every preconceived notion I had about this episode just went up in smoke.
because you
And
could but
that's what made that episode great. I
you
don't
could have
understand
just not.
how you were the complete opposite. You're like, why did I invest so much
That's
time
right.
in
You
all of these people if you're just going to go kill them off in like the next 10 minutes over
you
here,
could have
even
just
though
had
I only learned about them for about 1 minute.
they could have just not had episode 1 is what I'm getting at. It could have just been a
Well,
footnote in the series. I didn't watch
no,
it
because everything in that first season
first
is
episode,
is based off of that first episode. What happened in that first
but you
episode?
could have just had somebody say what happened in that first episode for 2 seconds in a speech. Yeah, we just lost some crew over there. You know, they all died through a thing. Oh
No,
no.
you're supposed to feel it because that thing becomes like a political like event. Like that you're supposed to be attached to the characters and to the actual like
I
event.
get what you're saying. I'm saying it's not needed. Think of
Yeah,
Star
you
Wars.
have to be attached to something that okay, I take it back because Jim is always like this. Okay, he just fast forwards through everything. He doesn't get
I
attached to
watched
anything.
The
I'm even
Expanse.
surprised you just didn't fast forward through all of the Expanse over here,
I watched
and
the full.
you even cared about these side characters because you're just like fast forward. Yeah, character building. Yeah, fast forward. Oh, ship blew up. Okay, well that was a nonsense episode. All that happened is the ship blew up.
I did watch that episode, but I'm saying it's akin to like Star Wars. When you watch Star Wars, in the beginning there was a summary, and it tells you like, oh no, the Trade Federation has blockaded our planet, right? They didn't show that happen, but they just told me. Why did they tell me? Because it wasn't really interesting to show. And the same way I'm saying, that didn't have to happen. It
No,
just could have been
because
talked to.
the rest of it didn't like it wasn't that beginning section. First of all, they did show it to you in different um what's it called? Like in different series and stuff like that. But um what's it called? It's more akin in Star Wars to when they blew up Alderaan. Okay, they blew up a whole planet.
Okay, that's not
Okay,
the first
so
episode
now
of Star
imagine
Wars.
it's the first Star Wars made.
In the very first take any.
In the very
You can
first
choose.
movie
You can choose.
made of Star Wars,
You
which
can
is
choose.
episode
Right.
4.
You could choose
Okay,
episode 4, or you could choose episode 1. I don't care. They told you what happened in the beginning to get you going.
you watched him blow up an entire planet.
After they told me the information I needed, I
You
didn't have
have
to.
just been like, and then you felt the sheer power of the Death Star,
That's true.
and then you felt bad when Leia was like crying because her whole family just died, and then they went to other people and they're like, I just heard like lots of people like screaming and just
Right.
nothing, So you felt that,
Right.
you felt that, and could you have been like in the credits at the beginning, be like, Alderaan just got blown up by a Death Star?
I could have, but
You wouldn't have had the same feeling. You're not
you
understanding.
literally taking a total movie and saying you don't want to watch the movie. And I'm saying the first episode of a series. All I'm saying is it was a bad first episode, and I can understand why people didn't want to watch it. That's all I'm saying. I don't doubt it's a good series.
Guys, everyone should watch The Expanse. It's a great
Look, out of
show.
the 3
It
people
gets a
we
little
spoke
weird
about,
in the later episodes, but yes.
out of the 3 people we just talked about, 2, your dad, me, and you, 2 of us didn't like it.
My dad's a bad example. He doesn't watch any shows. He doesn't watch any shows past episode 3.
He
I
didn't
don't know
even
what to
make it
tell.
to episode 1 in this one.
Like I think I talked to him about Queen's Gambit, and I think he only got to like episode 2. You know,
Queen's Gambit was another one where they really could have skipped.
you can't base things on my dad. He just doesn't give shows like a
Yeah.
full watch.
Queen's Gambit definitely could have had the Scarlet Witch Let's call this phenomenon the Scarlet Witch treatment, where I can just of just saying that if we're watching a series and I can skip the first few episodes and still be 100% happy with the series,
Uh,
then
uh,
then that's
Ah, Jim, you cause me so much pain. I don't understand how you say you're like a hardcore TV and movie watcher when you skip all of the character development. I don't understand it. I
think of
really
me
don't.
as the Anton Ego of movies.
Who's Anton Ego?
He is the guy who I thought was the villain, but he's actually not a villain from Ratatouille. The guy who loves to eat,
Yeah, yeah.
but only eats good food. And that's what I'm saying. It's like I love to watch shows, but if I see garbage, I'm clicking that fast forward button as fast as I can.
It's not garbage. It's setting, it's pacing and character development. You're just like I can
Boom!
you literally tell me I can just guess what the character development is, Steve. Okay? All these shows are predictable. I can just guess
You know
what
what?
it is.
No.
I don't need to be told, and I'd rather just get to the next episode.
Here's what we got to do. You and me, we got to do this next time we hang out. Next time you show at my place.
No,
This is
no,
it. Yes.
no,
Yes.
no. I will like rip my face off if you keep fast forwarding because
This is
you don't
what
even understand me. I'm the type of person that even hates when people switch songs before the song ends. There's people in the middle of songs. You're like getting into the beat, and all of a sudden it just changes.
Oh,
You're like,
they get through the
what
chorus.
just
They're like
happened?
next song.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I was done with that song already. What do you mean you're done? It's not over.
Yeah, some songs I can understand that though. Like if there's a song trying to do too much, like if it's hitting the 3 minute mark and it's still got another 3 minutes to go, nah, you had your shot. You had your
Yeah,
shot.
that's like techno songs or something, but yeah.
Yeah, so I was saying we still have to do the Lunchables taste test. And next time you're over, I'm happy to pick up some Lunchables for us.
I just want to say that if you're telling me the next time we hang out, it's gonna be Lunchables and fast forwarding TV, I'm not coming over. I'm not coming over. This sounds like the worst day ever.
And yes, I was gonna say we should spend a little bit of time doing some fast forwarding so you could you haven't done it before. How would you know?
No. No.
Let the master show you. If you enjoy, look, imagine you. I just can't even imagine how you'd be if you come to the dark side of TV show watching. You
You say that every time. Jim always thinks he's so right that he's gonna convince me to do this, and it's just like we're gonna do a taste test of Domino's versus Pizza Hut, and we're gonna taste which one's better. And Jim admits Pizza Hut's better. He admits it. He admits it.
that did happen,
And
but that is not always true.
you're like, I'm gonna convert you to Domino's, Steve.
The Domino's I gave you was good though. You said it was better than the regular Domino's you've had.
Well, it was the pan pizza, yeah.
Right, pan pizza. And before we log off, since we're going to talk about Lunchables real fast, I wanted to just pull up
We're
since
gonna talk
since you're going to do this with me, I wanted to pull up the top Lunchable flavors.
I wish to rescind my
And we
invitation to Lunchables eating.
I want to just quickly go over the top flavors, and you can pick the ones you think you'd have the best shot with. And looking at some of these, I already know the ones I don't want.
If you don't want them, I don't want them.
All right. I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, we're getting the Lunchables pizza. That is by far the pinnacle of Lunchables.
You said, oh, it's cold, sweet pizza because the sauce is cold and sweet. And I'm like, that just well, I might get. I'm almost gagging right now just thinking about it.
I just want to tell you that this is apparently new. I didn't know this. I would originally get the pepperoni Lunchables. For listeners out there, they'll probably agree that's the best. They now have a new one called Pizza and Choriza, which is I can't even read it. Which is
Don't say it.
this is the
I don't-
pizza with chocolate frosting and
What? What?
chocolate M&Ms,
What? What? What?
and you can make a dessert pizza. So you get the dough and you put frosting and then M&Ms. So you have your pizza and then you have a dessert pizza.
What is the dough even? A cracker?
How can I best describe this? It's like a matzah,
A matzah?
a matzah that's like cold because they got to be refrigerated, and it because it's kind of like a matzah because it's got holes in it.
You know,
I
the word.
can't wait. I have to record us
Yeah.
doing it. I can't wait to see your face when I open it. So I definitely think we have to get the pizza. But then here are some of the other ones. So I'm familiar with
There's
the
like a cheese one, right?
what's
Cheese
that?
one. Isn't there a cheese one?
There is the turkey and American cheese stackers. That I like that one. That is probably the healthiest on the list. That's
It's probably the one that I'll probably the only one I'm gonna like. It's just deli meat, cheese, and a cracker, which I don't think you can go wrong with that.
you're being really generous with that word deli meat.
What? You just said the word turkey. What is?
Yeah, but Lunchable is way more towards the spam texture than deli
What?
meat. It's
How can
way
you put the spam? What is that?
it's like if you can make spam and then you somehow make it cold enough that it stays shape. All right, so that we'll probably get that one. Now here are your other choices. We got the nachos cheese dip and salsa, which I've had, which is literally just a plate of nachos. That's not that bad. In fact, that might be good. There's the mini hot dogs, which I don't want, but I'm looking at them thinking, no. There's the kebabbles, which is where you take chicken nuggets. Oh my, I can't even believe somebody invented this. You take,
Whole chicken nuggets, yeah.
hold on a sec. You take a pretzel stick.
What? What is happening right now? It's like I'm trying to guess what you're about to say. Like, I don't know, a dipping sauce of some sort.
You
But
take a,
pretzel was not in my
you take
mind.
a
I don't know
pretzel
what pretzel
stick
has to do with anything.
and
It's already breaded. Why
you
do you
take
need
a pretzel
pretzels?
stick and you skewer the chicken nugget, and then you skewer cheese cubes, and you make a chicken nugget cheese cube pretzel kebab.
Dumbest thing. What? 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 That's not even a kebab. You're just putting chicken
It's
nuggets and
because it's called the
cheese.
kebabbles.
Oh,
Oh, okay. All right, so there's that. There is breakfast with waffles and bacon dippers. Oh my goodness.
it's a bacon dipper. How do you preserve bacon like that? What is
I
bacon?
can
What
barely,
is
I'm
bacon?
crying. It looks like you're gonna make a sandwich
With a
with
waffle?
pancakes and
Okay.
bacon bits and syrup.
Bacon bits. Oh, okay. I guess that's how they preserve it. They just put
Oh,
bacon. Okay.
oh. And the last one, let's skip that one. And the last one is snack duos. This looks kind of like Dunkaroos, but with meat. It says chicken nuggets, ketchup, honey graham sticks, chocolate marshmallow, whipped cream, and a Capri Sun. What the heck are you
What the
making?
honey graham stick? What the honey
It
graham stick?
looks
Those are the
like
teddy bears. The honey grahams are the teddy
it looks
bears.
like the teddy bears, but into like a stick. Oh, okay, okay. Woof. I think we
Are
should
we
get
getting all of
I
these?
think we should get four.
We
I
should get
think
all of them.
we should no. I don't think even I can make it through all of them. I think we should get the
don't have
pizza.
to finish them. I think we just need to eat a bite of each one.
The pizza's good. I can finish the pizza. I can eat a whole
Oh,
pizza by myself. That one's fine.
there better be like an actual meal on the side of this. Because
You're
there's
not
just
going to be
no
full?
way this is going to sustain me. Because I'm going to take a bite and I'm going to throw it out of my mouth.
You have to try. Well, look, you're going to definitely eat the turkey
It's one
cheese.
I'm definitely going to spit out. 100%.
The
If you tell me it's
pizza?
sweet pizza, if you tell me it's sweet pizza like that, no, I'm going to spit. I'm going to spit that out so fast. It's going to be
You
crazy.
have to.
I'm
Okay.
going to be like a llama.
You
Like,
have to. You have to eat it. You can't just chew it and spit it out because that's not eating the
that's the
food.
taste test. The taste is all in the
No,
tongue and the
no,
top of
you
my
got to
mouth.
eat it.
I'm gonna
So
chew it,
we'll
push
get
it around, like mouthwash, and then just spit it out.
we'll get the pizza. We'll get the ones with the crackers, and I think I'll get the nachos if they have it because I know the nachos are decent. It's hard to mess up nachos in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
it's
and then the whatever
salsa
else they have,
these days, I assume.
I'll do one rando for the fourth. Whatever they have in the store, I'll grab, and that'll be the four, and we can each have a bite of each. Okay? So
All
look,
right.
but to our listeners out there, it's going to be in a few weeks because we're booked for the next few weekends. But when it happens, we'll have to do an Instagram post or something on it so people can actually see, what their favorite is. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening today. I wanted to also mention since COVID's winding down, I know a lot of you guys are getting back into the work groove, going back to the office and all that stuff. When you get there, feel free to listen to us on the car ride. That was actually the initial purpose for this was to be for people to listen on the car rides. That's why we made it an hour. So if you had half an hour commute, you could listen to half and half, or if you got an hour, you could listen to us going one way. And if your coworkers are guiding a commute, yeah, feel free to let them know about us as well. If they have the right sense of humor, we don't just want anybody listening to this.
That's
So
right. That's right. Only a select few. Only
mhm,
only people who've got no creativity like us.
that's right. So feel free to check us out, guys. On YouTube, Creativity Level Zero, Twitter, podcast. At our Instagram, we are at creativity_level_zero. We will be uploading more to YouTube. If you've heard us on the podcast, though, they're just going to be the same episode, so it's nothing new. Don't feel like you have to go and rewatch them there. But if you're just listening to them at home, it might be better to watch them on YouTube because then you get to see the facial expressions and the jokes and the tears. So it'll be fun. All
I
right.
do have a lot of facial expressions. Yeah.
Yeah,
Join us on Twitch too.
that's
We're
right. Thank
starting
you.
on Twitch.
Yep, we're
Say
on.
you want to plug in our Twitch over here?
Yep, we are at Creativity Level Zero, but with the no underscores and the number zero.
Right.
We'll be found under the podcast section for streaming, and we stream 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. So if you guys want to join in, feel free. All right, so thanks everybody for joining, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.